Hello friends, welcome to my living room. I'm lazy today, so this is my intro. By request, today we are painting a giraffe, so shut up and pay attention. Hey guys, so today we're gonna paint a giraffe, and as you can see, I've already taped up my canvas and painted the background and sketched my outline. Go ahead and get your tools together and select the colors that you want to use. You're going to need white, black, and then a color for brown and a color for white on the giraffe's body. Now I'm starting by painting the whole body with a watered down shade. And I'm going to put the spots on top. So make sure you use the color that you want between the giraffe's spots. Use your water to manipulate your shading where the shadows hit and the light shines, as I'm doing here. More water will make the paint lighter and more paint will make the paint darker. And be sure to move your strokes in the direction in which the fur or the shape of the giraffe goes. For example, on the neck, I did a swooping motion to indicate the circular shape of the neck. Don't worry about being super detailed because you're really just blocking out your shapes and filling in the areas in which you know you want to paint. In other words, you're just filling in your pencil outline. Now I'm just going to go back in and go on top of some of my areas to add some shading on top of the lighter areas that I painted over with too much water. And now I'm actually going to go in and add some blue on top of the shaded areas. But you won't need much, so just put a tiny little bit on your palette. And use more water than paint. And it should look a little something like this. Don't touch the eyes yet. We'll do that at the end. All right, now we're gonna go in and just block out our spot shapes. Try as best you can to go with the flow of the shape of the giraffe's body. Bend your shapes in curve motions to go with the movement of the body of the giraffe, while still keeping the spot shape that you want. It might sound difficult, but it's really not. Once you finish your shapes, you need to go in and block out all of the areas in which brown is colored on the giraffe's body, with whatever color you chose for those places. In my case, green. And again, use your water to blend it out so that you get a light to dark ratio. And then we'll go in afterwards and put in our detail. So by the end, it should look a little bit like this. Now we're going to go back over the pink areas and make them nice and clear and full of color. And add a little bit more shading with the blue that I used previously. Once you're done with that, we're going to go back and do the same thing for our spots using white. Just add a little white to your green or whatever color you used and shed some sunlight on that design. You might not be very happy with it at this point. I wasn't, but it gets better. Now we're going to start adding some of those highlights on the head using the same techniques we've been using on the body, while adding a little more basic detail into the rest of the face. Trying to bring out the fur, the whiskers, texture, movement, and highlights and shading. I started with my pinks and my greens, but now I'm starting to add white, and in a minute I'll start to add just a tiny little bit of black. Now one mistake I made is that the body of the giraffe is disproportionate to the head, so it's not giving the angle illusion that I wanted. So I'm going to go back over it later and make the body smaller by adding white around the edge of it, and then I'll go back over it in yellow to match the background. Now I'm almost done with the head here, and I'm going to start adding black. If you need to at any point stop and let your paint dry so that it's not mixing together, do that. I did that a couple of times. Okay, now I'm going to start adding black. I'm going to squeeze out a lot of paint, but I'm not going to use it all right now. I'm going to save it for later. Right now you only need a little bit for the face and for the neck. About this much. Oh, wait. In Africa, they point with their middle finger, okay? Okay, Brex, you're in my way, man. Okay, we're gonna make a quick outline of the neck, just very subtle, and do a little detailing on the face. And then finally, we're gonna get those eyes in. Make sure you're using water so it's not super dark or gloppy, because you really do want it to be subtle, except when you get to the eyes. Once you get there, you do want glop, and you want it to be dark. But you're also gonna put in eyelashes and eyebrows, which are furry and fluffy, so, Braxton, get off of me. Okay, so what I'm doing here is just blending it with my fingers to make it fluffy for the eyebrows. You really don't want a lot of paint for that. And then we're gonna start adding the whiskers. Did you know that giraffes have whiskers? I did not. Or maybe I did, but I just never registered it in my brain. Braxman, I'm trying to record here, dude. This was much easier when you were sleeping. Okay, I'm using black for the whiskers, but I'm also gonna use some white. So I'm gonna go back in and do some highlighting with my white at the end. You're almost done. Okay, now that I've got my whiskers done, I'm gonna go back in with my white and do some face highlights. Just super simple touch-ups. No need to get crazy. Okay, my camera died, so I did some work without you, but I had told you about it previously. Just working on the background here. I made the body smaller and now I'm blending it in. And I think that looks much better. Now all that's left to do is work on your background. You can do whatever you want, but I chose to put in a creepy tree to make it look kind of like my giraffe is up inside the tree. And now I'm gonna add some highlights, and then I'm gonna put in this creepy design with white so that everything has a yellow aura, but the background is white. Then take your tape off, admire the beauty, and decide for yourself if it's done or if you want to do something else. I might go back in and add a little outline around all of my white areas, and if I do that, I'll post a picture of it on Instagram. You can follow me at MudHutMania. And there you go, your creepy cute little giraffe. I hope you liked it. Sweet dreams, and à tout à l'heure.